Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is in commentary. So, thank you for staying tuned and welcome. Have a seat. Now, as we know, together is one and unity is power. There is this video concerning Jamaican woman who made bold claims about Jamaican identity, the origins of Jamaican accent, and who has the right to call themselves Jamaican. Those comments quickly ignited widespread criticism and prompted Estein commentary to examine the historical and cultural facts behind controversy. This conversation goes far beyond social media, drama. It touches a history, heritage, national identity, and the lasting influence of Jamaica's diverse people. So, don't move, stay tuned, and I'll be back with more reaction and comments.
I have a bone to pick with you. Why are so many Jamaicans ignorant of their own history? Why so much dunce people in my comment section? Oh my God, people, stop it! The Jamaican accent is not an African dialect. The Jamaican accent, like everything associated with modern Jamaican heritage, is in fact the byproduct of the cultural melting pot that our motto embraces. In fact, in terms of cadence, it's most similar to an Irish accent.
I've been shook enough now, to be honest, since the racing. A bit tired now and the legs are like jelly, but yeah, I suppose we did a bit of celebrating and did the podium thing and got to put on the podium pants as well.
You see, as early as 1656, Oliver Cromwell ordered 2,000 Irish children to be taken to Jamaica and sold to English settlers. The extent of Irish immigration to Jamaica was so prolific in the centuries to follow that 25% of Jamaican citizens can claim Irish ancestry. And this includes Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey. So if you never know, now you know. Again, out of many, one people. Number one, Jamaica is not an African nation. It's not a black country. We identify as an ethnically diverse society. People, please just stop it. Out of many, one people, Jamaicans. We do not hyphenate and we do not encourage separation by race. Number two, this one's mine.
You see, one thing about history that you have to know, you always have to open your mind to learn new things that you don't know. Because you meet people that will come with their own versions of the history. However, when it gets to a certain level, you will notice that, Charlie, this thing is getting a little bit biased. And with this particular video, for instance, I was with this woman. But then I saw another video where she was being a little bit biased, where she was talking about the accent of the Jamaicans. The way she framed the whole thing, she made it look like it was mainly influenced by the Irish people and a little bit of the Asians, you understand me, without the Africans. And I mean, we all know the genesis of the whole patois. It's true, Jamaica is a collection of different cultures, of different people. But when you look at the population, nobody should tell you that Africans were dominant, apart from the original inhabitants of the land, the Red Ware people, who are the ancestors of the Tainos. Over 900,000 people were brought to this place, most popularly West Africa. The only non-African group of people that dominated the area, apart from the Africans, were the Irish people, who were brought in the 1600s by the British people after they conquered their land. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ireland was the first country to be colonized by the British, even before coming to Africa. But then, unlike the Africans, they came as indentured servants. They signed contracts to work in Jamaica, and that is where they formed what is called the Hiberno English, which is what they brought to Jamaica. Due to proximity and the way they were working with them on the plantation, they taught the West African people who were speaking the Pidgin and the Creole this type of English. This is what they mixed together and then came up with the patois. Now, these Chinese and the Indian people, they came around 1854 after the abolition of the slave trade in 1834. When most of the black people stopped working on the plantation, these Asians were brought to come and replace them. So they also came in as indentured servants. They contributed with their food, the Chinese cuisine and all of that. And then the music. You can't talk about reggae and ska without people like Byron Lee. Even though the rhythm and the pattern came from Africa, the instruments and the studio that they recorded came from these people, the Chinese people. But don't make it look like you played a huge role than anybody. You people are like 1.2.
Tired of this narrative. it is simply not true. And I don't know where it started. I don't know who is trying to create this propaganda that Africans don't accept us in the diaspora. It is not true. A great majority of them love us and embrace us and want us to come over there and connect with them. Sure, you have a few that may be saying, oh, you know, don't come over here. But I mean, it's one and two, and most of them are just not in their right minds. Just like you have piece of shit Jamaicans, but I'm not going around and saying, oh, Jamaica is hell because you have a few people who aren't very nice. Check the comment section of the last video that I posted. It is full of comments from the continent, all over the continent. Even on Instagram, I have 50k followers on Instagram. About 90% of them are Africans. Africans love us, especially Jamaicans. Okay, maybe they don't like Black Americans so much, right? And you can understand, you know, I love my Black American brothers and sisters, but y'all are hard to deal with sometimes, especially when you come to other places where other African people are. You know, you come with your entitlement, you come with your attitude, you come with your complaining. Like, it's very difficult to deal with y'all because you're American, you know, and that's just the truth. But we love in the same way, you know, but it's just hard to deal with. But Africans love Jamaicans. They love Jamaicans. Ghana, they act just like us. They actually act like us. That's how much they love us. Come on. And the rest of Ethiopia. So
Number
Wow. Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. I know you have enjoyed the videos. The first major issue discussed is the claim that Jamaica accent is mainly derived from Irish accent rather than African influence. While historians acknowledge that Irish and other European settlers left traces in Jamaica's linguistic development, the video argues that presenting Irish influence as the primary source ignores the overwhelming role played by enslaved Africans. Jamaican patois developed through the interaction between English and numerous West and Central Africa languages spoken by enslaved people who formed the majority of the population. Their resilience, creativity, and ability to preserve elements of their heritage helped shape the unique language spoken across the islands today. According to the commentary, removing or minimizing this African foundation distorts Jamaica's historical reality. The discussion then shifts to another controversial statement that only people holding a Jamaican passport should identify as Jamaican. Estin commentary strongly challenges this view, explaining that national and cultural identity are not always the same thing. Millions of Jamaicans and their descendants live abroad, yet they continue to celebrate Jamaican traditions, cook Jamaican food, speak patois, support the country's athletes and musicians, and pass these customs on to future generations. For many members of the diaspora, being Jamaican is deeply rooted in family history, cultural upbringing, and emotional connection rather than simply possessing a legal commitment. The video also explores Jamaica's multicultural history. Over the centuries, the island has been shaped by indigenous people, Europeans, Africans, Indians, Chinese, Middle Eastern communities, and many others. Each group has contributed something valuable to Jamaica's rich cultural identity. However, the creator stresses that acknowledging diversity should never erase the central role of African descendants, whose labor, sacrifice, tradition, and cultural innovation laid the foundation for much of modern Jamaican society. The country's famous motto, "Out of many, one people," celebrates unity in diversity while recognizing the historical journey that brought these communities together. Another important point is the tremendous influence of the Jamaican diaspora. Jamaicans living overseas have played a major role in spreading reggae, dancehall, Jamaican cuisine, fashion, language, and culture across the globe. Their continued connection to the island has strengthened Jamaica's international reputation and ensured that Jamaica culture remains vibrant far beyond its borders. The commentary argues that excluding diaspora communities from the Jamaican identity overlooks their enormous contribution to preserving and promoting the nation's heritage worldwide. The creator also reflects on the role of social media in amplifying controversial opinions. Online platforms often reward content that sparks outrage and division because it generates more views, comments, and engagement. As a result, emotionally charged debates can spread much faster than thoughtful historical discussions. The video encourages viewers to examine claims carefully, seek reliable historical context, and engage in respectful conversations instead of allowing social media algorithm to fuel unnecessary conflicts. In conclusion, Esteemed Commenter reminds viewers that Jamaica's story is one of diversity, resilience, and shared heritage. While people from many backgrounds have helped shape the island, the contribution and sacrifices of African descendants remains a fundamental and inseparable part of the Jamaican's identity. Recognizing every community's role should strengthen national unity rather than create division. Ultimately, being Jamaican is about much more than a passport. It's about history, culture, family, shared experience, and a deep connection that continues to unite Jamaicans around the world. So, if you enjoyed this summary, don't forget to like the video, share your thoughts in the comment section, and subscribe. Thank you and be blessed.